Hi everybody, it's Catherine from In the Pink Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So the products that I use you can purchase from me at the address at the top of the screen, and it's links below also. My project today is a little Easter or spring basket. It's approximately 3 1/4 wide, 3 1/4 around and 2 3/4 high up to the bottom of the basket. I use the Flowering Tulips stamp set along with the tulips dies, the layering circle dies, and some of the Highland Heather Grosgrain Ribbon that is retiring. So what we need, I guess you could see it better this way. There we go. Alright, so we need a piece of Flowering Fields Designer Series paper that is 10.5 by 5. Now this was the top of the paper, so the tulips are smaller. This is, they got larger towards the bottom of the page. Right, so we need one strip of Highland Heather cardstock that is 3/4 by 8.5. We need a scrap of basic white for stamping. And then we need a number of circles from the layering circle dies. We need 2 out of Highland Heather that are 2 5/8. We need 1 from Pear Pizzazz that is 2 1/8. A scalloped one from Saffron that is 2 inches. And another Highland Heather that is 1 7/8. Alrighty. So let's get my Simply Scored. Alright, and we're going to start on the 10.5 inch side. And we're going to basically score this every inch. Oops. So, at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay? Then we're going to turn it to the 5 inch side, and we're going to score at 1 1/2 and 4 1/4. Okay. And I'm just going to gently fold and burnish. It doesn't need to be pushed as hard as the cardstock does. Okay, so we have a 3/4 inch strip at the top and at the bottom. I don't know now, let's see. It's 1 1/2, a whole bunch of 1 1/2 rectangles at the bottom. Okay, and there is a 1/2 inch rectangle on the right hand side. Alright, and this is what we're going to do. All we're going to do is get rid of this last rectangle here, the skinny one, and then we're just going to cut all of this up to the first score line. Okay? Alright, so we'll come over here to where this skinny rectangle is, and we're going to cut to the first score line, and then we're going to wedge a little bit up into the piece above it. Alright, and now all we're going to do is go to each rectangle and cut it straight to the first score line. There's no wedging or anything. Okay, and all of these are loose. Alright, now, I did one where I flipped this top piece back, but I liked this one. I didn't want to put this one because it's just not really one color. So this one, and I actually like it better. I'm going to fold it in. And then the top is a nice folded over piece instead of just a rough piece that's open. Alright, so first what we're going to do is glue that piece inside. So I'm going to get my liquid glue. Now I put a bunch of glue, but it's not very thick because I press when I am moving it, so it comes out kind of thin on there. All right. And I'm just going to wait till it dries a second, and then I'm going to rebend all of this because this piece is not used to being bent the other way. Alright. And now what I'm going to do is what's left of the skinny rectangle, I'm going to put some liquid glue. And I'm doing that instead of tear and tape because you kind of have to finesse as to which one. And it came right over, so it's not a big deal. Alright, I had a little trouble on this one because I needed an extra strip in there. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to maintain the shape that we want, and we're going to go opposite each other. So we try to keep it kind of in a circular motion. So first we're going to put all of the pieces out, and we're going to be using liquid glue for this. All right, so first we'll start with this one, and we'll put glue on the edge of the one next to it. And just hold it together a minute. Okay, then we want to do the one across from it and the piece that's next to that. So we'll put that one down first. Now, however you find it's easier to do, but this is the easiest way that I found. Okay, then we'll go to these two. These two are across from each other. So we're going to put glue on the edges of these. Put one down there. Actually, put it at the top of this one, wherever you see that it has a place to go down. Okay, there we go. Now it's good. And just kind of keep it going in the shape you want. Just kind of look at it and make sure that it's round still. All right, and then I'm just going to put the 3 of these down on top. And since it's liquid glue, if it's not right, you can always move it a little bit. Okay, now I'm just going to put some scrap down. And I'm going to put it down, make sure that I like how it looks. And I'm just going to press with my bone folder. Okay, then get it up because we don't want it to attach to the scrap. And we need one of the Highland Heather circles that are 2 5/8. And I'm just going to make sure that I like how this is. And then I'm just going to put it right on top. Okay, and then again, I'm just going to press down. So that gets nicely on there. And then there is little bits of glue in the inside, and I don't want that to stick to anything. So I made one more of the same size circle, and we'll just put that in there. I see just a little bit I got over there. Okay. And now you just want to give it, make sure that it's still bent. It's not straight on any of these. Okay. All right, now we need our piece of Highland Heather that is 3/4 by 8.5. And I'm just gonna slightly bend it by going from the middle to the outside and just kind of pull on it and it will bend. All right, now decide, this is our back where the seam is, and then these two are right across from each other. And we're going to put about 1 inch, 3/4 to 1 inch on that on the outside of the end of the Highland Heather strip and glue it to the side. And then the other side. And however you like it. If you like a larger handle, if you like a smaller handle. Just make sure that it has at least a ½ inch to adhere with. Just wiping off anything that's squeezed out. Okay. Now we're going to let that dry a little while, and we're just going to stamp our tulip. And what we're going to be using is these two stamps. Now this one on the right is the one we're going to do in Daffodil Delight Ink, and this one here we're going to do in Crushed Curry, and the middle we're going to do in black, Tuxedo Black. So let's get our Daffodil Delight first, and our strip a little scrap of basic white, and we're going to do the first piece. And of course you can put whatever you want. You don't have to do the tulips, but I wanted to because it matches the paper. Okay, so that was Daffodil Delight. Now we'll do the one that has just a little bit less stamping in Crushed Curry. And this one is pretty easy to line up. Okay. And then we have to come in with the middle with Tuxedo Black. Now, if you like all that white all around, that's fine. You can leave it like that. But I'm going to come in with light So Saffron. Is it So Saffron? Yeah, light So Saffron. And I'm going to just color in the spots that are white because I think it looks nicer with this. You don't want to go over the whole thing because it might get it a little muddled looking. So just color in where the white bits are. And I'm going to color around the black. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if you can see. Alright, and then I'm going to take this outline die and I'm going to cut it out, and I will be right back. Okay, and there is our tulip. Now we need all of our circles. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the 1 7/8 inch Highland Heather smooth circle and attach it to the 2-inch So Saffron scallop circle. And then we're going to attach it to the 2 1/8 inch Pear Pizzazz circle. Alright, and then I'm going to get some dimensionals. I'm going to put the flower onto the Highland Heather piece. And I'm going to put it right like that. Okay. Now what I want to do, since the front of this is a point, I'm going to just gently curl the sides of this. Doesn't have to be a lot because the dimensionals will kind of even it out for us. And I'm going to put a dimensional on each side. And I'm going to find the middle, and I'm just going to put this right on the 2 strips that are the middle. Okay. There we go. All right. Now we need, I just want to fold this just a little bit better. You could also put the seam a little off to the side, so and then put these on different ones, and then you will have a straight one there. If you don't like how this is straddling both strips. Alrighty, and then we need our Highland Heather Grosgrain Ribbon. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie it, and it took me a couple tries until the lower piece was on my right hand side there. Alright, and that's the piece we're going to make the loop, but I want just a little bit more there, so I'm just going to pull a little more through. There we go. And you don't want to pull it too tight because you don't want to squeeze and rip your handle. Alright, and then I'm just going to make a loop and then bring the other piece around the back to the front and then poke it behind our loop. And there you go. There's your bow, and both of the pieces are reasonably forward. Then you want to leave them, well, I like them kind of long. You don't have to have them long. But I'm just going to use my fabric scissors because this is kind of hefty ribbon. Alrighty. And now, for the final touch, I'm going to take some 2021 to 2023 in color jewels, which are retiring. So I'm going to use my last 3 of the yellows. I'm going to put one on the actual tulip, one down here, and one over there. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, you can email me. My email is below. Also, the link to purchase and the link to my blog, which has all the directions. Don't forget to leave me a comment telling me you're subscribed to be entered into my 3,000 subscriber giveaway. All right, I will see you next time. Bye.